Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany, and today we are going to be meal prepping for my 7-month-old little girl, Sawyer Joe. And this is what she's going to be eating this week. And first thing I'm going to start off with is this butternut squash, which I wanted to mention this little trick. If you have a cutting board that slides around, just get a paper towel that's as big as your cutting board and dampen it with some water, and then put it underneath, and it'll prevent your cutting board from sliding around, so you'll have a stable surface to cut your produce. But the first thing I'm going to start off with is this butternut squash, and I am making her a puree of it. And you really only need 1/3 of the squash at a time, so I will be saving the other 2/3 for later, and I can always make more puree if needed. But I'm just going to start by cutting that into thirds and peeling those sections, and then I will cube those up and freeze those in freezer bags, and then with the section I'm going to make her puree, I will steam and blend.
Picked up a pen and paper and started writing. Probably something about her eyes and how they're always shining, or something cliche like ooh.
We do a mixture of baby-led weaning and purees with her. I like to have a mixture of both, so that way I know she's getting the nutrients she needs, but then she's also able to learn how to feed herself and just get curious about the different things we're giving her, because I really don't want her to be a picky eater. I want her to love and enjoy food, so I'd like to do a mixture of anything that we give her. But this week the produce that we had went bad so fast, and there were some things I wasn't able to give her. But with the carrots and zucchini that you saw, all I did with that, I did not make any purees. I would basically just cut those into strips and then steam those and give them to her in little sticks that she can hold on to and feed herself with.
And now they're singing their love song, and they sing it kind of beautiful.
I absolutely love this baby food maker. It is from the brand Baby Breeza, but it's very simple to use, and it has this steam and blend function that makes everything so much easier, because I can literally start it and then walk away, and by the time I get back it is pureed and ready to be put into containers.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew.
Another thing we've been working with Sawyer is having toast sticks. So I just take some sprouted whole grain toast, and I will spread either avocado or raspberries. I'll smash raspberries on the toast and give it to her that way, which that introduces different textures and then also introduces different fruit to her. She had never had raspberries before, so that was really exciting to try her with. But that's a good option to just introduce different taste, to have them on toast. It gives them something to hold on to, especially things that can't be steamed, where she can hold on to them.
You say that you're from out of town. I'm hoping that you stick around. Show me what it's like from the other side. Would you stay another night?
While I'm letting that butternut squash cool in the Baby Breeza before I put it into freezer containers, I'm going to go ahead and separate these peas. This was something, normally I would make a puree with peas, but I wanted to try something different with her this week. So all I did was separate them from the pod, and then I steamed them like normal, but instead of blending them, I gave them to her steamed so she can get that different texture and work on having food in her mouth. And you can easily buy frozen peas to make your puree with, which would be a lot simpler. But I did want to make sure that these were organic, and the only thing my grocery store had was these fresh ones, so I did have to separate them from the pod, which is a little bit more work, but definitely worth it in my opinion. Sugar snap peas is also a really good snack for yourself. I always dip them in a little bit of ranch, but I find that with Sawyer eating her food, I eat better myself as well. Now that the butternut squash is cooled, I'm going to put them in these glass freezer containers in 2-ounce serving size portions, because that is something she can either eat on her own, or I could easily mix in with another fruit or veggie that she can have. And you just want to make sure that it is a smooth consistency. You want to check it to make sure it does not have any lumps, because when you are feeding puree, you want to make sure it's smooth as possible, because if there is a chunk in there and they get that, they're not prepared for it and they could possibly choke. So you definitely just want to make sure it's good and blended, and then I store them away in my freezer, and they are good for up to 3 months. Now that I got that put away, I am going to start on some applesauce for her. The first time I made applesauce, I did not leave the skin on. I took the skin off, which made it for a smoother consistency. But I did decide to leave the skin on this time, which made it a little more chunky, which is what I wanted. I did want to introduce a little different texture to her, which it was steamed and pureed, so it was still soft and small enough to where it was not a choking hazard, but it was a different texture, so she could get used to that as well. With this applesauce, I actually ended up mixing it with the butternut squash to kind of sweeten the squash up, and she absolutely loved it.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone?
Blueberry puree is one of the easiest purees that I've found that I can make. Basically, I just get some organic blueberries. I rinse those really well, and drain those, and then I put them in my steamer and set it, and it's good to go. You do have to be extremely careful with blueberry puree because it is one that stains everything. I wanted to show you as well how I make her cereal and how we introduced peanut butter to Sawyer. They recommend introducing peanut butter before she was a year old, which we introduced it around when she was 6 months old. But we just take this powdered peanut butter by the brand PB2, and I just put about a little bit less than 1/4 of a teaspoon in with her oatmeal, and then I mix that with some breast milk, and she absolutely loves it. She loves when there's peanut butter in it. I was very thankful that she did not have a allergic reaction to it. That was one of the scariest things that we've introduced so far. And the next one that I'm worried about is eggs, because it is a high allergy as well, so that's next on our list. But I wanted to show you this, and she does so well with eating by herself. I will feed her some of it, and then if I load her spoon up, she does so good with eating on her own. This is such a good base to start with to introduce different foods to her. Sometimes I will add some banana into it that I just smashed with a fork, or that blueberry puree I made, or even the applesauce. It's just a really good way to introduce different taste combinations that she can try and get used to. She's also started using this sippy cup, and she does so well with it. She picked it up so fast and figured how to get water out of it. I barely had to help her, but she is doing so good and progressing so fast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We would love to have you, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!